Officially very big welcome to those of you who have managed to join us live today for this October sort of pre-11/11 preparation. And as we were actually just saying offline with those who are here in the chat room, is that the energies certainly have been quite challenging, a bit dampening. And not perhaps as we would wish them to be. There's people looking for clarity about their way forward in life at the moment. And quite interestingly, as we move into November, this is also today's the 29th of October, which is 2 and 9 is 11. Of the 10th and 1, so it's 11/11, 11/11 prep. The energies of October would seem to be pointing towards and have been described where I've actually come across them as being a re-emergence or a resurrection. So this does feel very, very appropriate and very valuable for this moment in time as we prepare for the portals in November, which should see an opening and a clarity for the way forward. Um, Lots of uncertainty around at the moment, lots of things almost changing. One of the things that I described, I said to someone the other day, it almost feels like being on a moving magic carpet where you don't know what the next day is actually going to bring. The carpet is actually continually moving. The landscape, inner and outer landscape, is continually moving. And there's no um, clarity yet on which way it's actually going to settle. And that is part and parcel of the work that we do with this activation of this opening to this creation of the diamond bridge, opening up to the new holograms and then embedding those new holograms through our being. It's going to take a while for those to unfold and be realized through the collective. So it almost is a space of really great transition at the moment that we are in. So I just, yeah, feels as though we're starting from scratch, everything birthing anew. Very good comment, that. Yes, because that would seem to be, hi, Bonnie, so glad you could make it. What it is that's happening at the moment, and we are continually, and I think that's what some people perhaps um, don't fully understand about this journey is the constant rebirthing of ourselves and rebirthing of reality and rebirthing of new ways of being as an aspect of this journey because it is an ongoing process. It's not an instantaneous, you do it once, there we done. I've rebirthed myself. It's something that we keep on rebirthing as we unfold ourselves to ourselves, within ourselves, and out in the world. So it is a constant process. So yeah, lots of people commenting that the energies have been particularly difficult. Yeah, we don't know who. Well, I don't know if it's so much who to become, but it's who we are becoming because it's part of the process. Yeah, good comment there. So yeah, comments about this lovely image, and yeah, I just love it because it is part of the fractal aspect and patterning of the diamond. It's kind of like we are here, all of these wonderful individual fractals as aspects of the great whole, the great die hold. So it's just a lovely, what's the word? Something to actually visually capture your attention and to demonstrate this fractal nature of who we are, how we are, and how we interact with everything else. So Mary Beth has just said here, which is interesting, that's I see it as moving sidewalks, like at the airport. As I started reading that, there was the image that I got. You step off one onto another faster moving sidewalk. It's adjusting to the faster one. Very, very good analogy. Yeah, it's like the first one was actually moving quite slowly, and the other one is moving quite quickly, but our physical body hasn't actually caught up with it. So with the speed at which it's moving. So some very interesting analogies there. Thank you, everybody, for sharing insights and your experiences of what is happening was so valuable and so important as well to be able to share with others who may be experiencing this and not being able to place it into a context or into a framework that has meaning for them. So we're very, very fortunate that we've got this community in order to bounce these things off each other, to be catalysts for each other, because you go out there and you become catalysts in the world. That's interesting. Thank you for that, Rachel. Also had pressure in my head, especially the front. Yes, I had a lot of pressure, especially today, but a couple of times it's come and gone over the last few days too. So very interesting. And I love that. Elaine's just said that's why our shoes feel sticky because we don't want to fall off our fast moving sidewalks. That's interesting. Yeah, it's like holding us in place as things are actually speeding up. So there's this real dichotomy. It's like you are being held also so that those downloads can actually happen and the body is adjusting. So yeah, just like the cocoon is actually opening up to reveal itself. Who else have we got? Patricia, welcome. Lovely that you could join us too. You haven't missed much. We kind of only just started getting going. So where are we today in respect to the energies? And I think this is just perfect because the feeling and the sense that I was getting as I was looking at the energy of today is that the electrical nature, the energetic nature of today, the storm, is part and parcel of helping us to cut through some of that stickiness, if you like, that we were talking about. So we have today the blue electric storm, and I've got a few descriptions of it, which is just really interesting. May the energy of the blue storm help me to accept the change and chaos necessary for transformation and self-generation to occur. Now, how powerful is that? So yes, bit of chaos. There's not knowing quite where we are, what is actually going on, and learning to be comfortable with the chaos. So absolutely spot on that we are connecting and working with this today. And I found this image online and I thought this is just absolutely wonderful. This is sort of the dual rotating vortices or spirals, alternate directions. And as you guys know, when we work with the diamond, that's exactly what we initiate and fire up through the diamond is these alternating spirals, but sparks and really active blue electrical energy, just a perfect image. And when I Googled actually blue electric storm, that was one of the first images that actually came up. And I thought, oh, how wonderful. And it fits in so perfectly with this fractal image with all of the spirals. Also, this like perfectly spiraling, activating energy, which is going to help us to cut through that stagnation and stickiness, which feels as if it's been holding us very deeply. So let's have a look at this. Blue storm, and I love this description too, is the initiation by fire, the lightning path, the arrival of the thunder beings who bring the final transformation. To the Maya, blue storm represents the storm, the thundercloud, full of purifying rain, and the lightning that shatters any false structuring of reality. So, how wonderful is that? Blue storm is the purification of the body temple and the ignition of the light body. In these last years of a 26,000 year Mayan grand cycle, blue storm comes to help you in the disintegration process that moves you from separation to unification. So we're talking ninth wave language. This initiation by fire breaks any false containers of self that cannot withstand the flame of transmutation. Only your true identity will live through these fires, for you will be reborn in the heart of all that is. So again, you were talking earlier about what you were intuitively sensing, that there's this rebirthing process. So you were really connecting with the support of the energy at the moment. Um, blue storm provides the water that purifies and quenches your spiritual thirst. And we're talking cosmic water. And we know water also, which is interesting that we worked with water in the first portal gathering this month in October, because water is a very, very powerful conductor of electricity. So the two go hand in hand, the lightning and the water, which really amplifies the effect. In this state of consciousness, you stand willing to surrender everything. You give up what you seem to be in order to become fully what you are. You step into the fires of the unknown and you are changed forever. And this is an ongoing process of change. You know, it's not just one blue electric storm day. We cycle through and we come up against this again as we move through cycles, but we have these ongoing opportunities to make those changes permanent, which we've been going through. Breathe in joy, let go in beauty and light. Yes, that's absolutely wonderful. And that's what it is. Breathe in love, breathe out joy. You know, just don't breathe. You don't need to breathe out the stress. You breathe in and out, and you anchor the awareness, that expanded awareness of the purity of who you are in that moment of total surrender. And that's diamond. Of course, fire fuels the diamond. It is the fire that solidifies and creates the form of the diamond. It creates the internal pressure in order to create and strengthen your diamond state of being. So here we have again, blue storm catalyzes and prepares your nervous system and your circuitry for complete transformation. It is the electromagnetic storm of transmutation, the clearing and quickening of your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies. As you become aligned with the descending energies and evolving consciousness, your body's vibration is raised, becoming less dense. So there we go, removing and working through the stickiness. Your new alignment ignites the quickening process that transmutes the shadows of the past, including experiences, judgments, thought forms, and old patterns that have held you back. And here, just again, is just the perfection of this particular image, because you become aligned with the descending energies. And as you do this, everything evolves and raises in vibration to meet that. So it's both. Okay. So, just going back here, this is the higher guide for this particular energetic configuration. So that is the blue knight, which is your higher self and guide. And this is also really interesting and significant, because the blue knight is the dark mystery within the journey into self, that place to which you can always retreat to garner the gifts of your process subjectively. You are being asked to enter into and explore your process. Blue Night is the immense field of potential found in the depths of human emotion and feeling. The touch of Blue Night is like the moment you crawl into bed and feel yourself surrounded by the warmth, darkness, and peace. Blue Night's abyss holds the potent evolutionary playing field of all possibility. I love it. In this expanded field, all things are not only possible, but are constantly in the process of creation. In the framework of dream time, limiting constructs of ordinary reality, such as time, space, and linear causality, are freed into an expanded system with unlimited access to all reality. So that's the essence of what we are working with at the moment, and it is that process of surrender into your true self and allowing the electrification, that electromagnetic storm of transmutation, to travel through your being, to ignite and to light up those holograms of possibility, to ignite them, to give charge to them. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this from what we were doing with the last session, is there we embedded and absorbed some of the holograms of the ninth wave and the new reality into our being. So what we really want to do is to begin the process of establishing our networks, our nerve networks, and this electrochemical transformation in order to ignite those patterns as we cut through the stagnation of the old structures. Does that make sense? You can see how one flows into the other so beautifully on this journey that we take. So here we have the affirmation for today's energies, which is I activate in order to catalyze. So we are catalysts, we are living catalysts. Bonding energy. So what are we bonding? We are bonding the energy of that infinite potential and of our potential with our potential in order to realize and self-generate and transform the elements and aspects of service that are attributes of the ninth wave holograms. So we're going to activate those. I am guided by the power of abundance. And in the ninth wave is an infinite field of abundance. So here we have that's just the diamond as an aspect of these dual rotations, the blue electric storm that fuels and catalyzes the changes. And something that I did for the Magnificent Souls group was create a a condensed summary of the ninth wave attributes so that we can perhaps connect with it in a deeper way. We know that the overarching content is about unity and unification. Very interesting. We've got a comment in the chat room about the nervous system and how, today that's what we're working with. Is a couple of participants there. She's saying here, interesting about the nervous system. I've been so itchy recently. Yeah, and that is actually part and parcel of that activation in order to initiate, self-generate, and go through this change um, in a powerful way. So let's have a look. Thanks for that, ladies. Here we have the attributes of the ninth wave. We're talking about equality, and that is equality in all ways. That's across nations in the collective sense. That is between gender. That is between cultures. That is professions, economically. All of these cross sections of a separated society. Healing, personal, collective, and planetary. So multiple levels, reunification, harmony, the establishment of harmony between those different elements and aspects, the coexistence and cooperation. Personal relationship with the divine. So we go from needing intermediates and intermediaries to developing a far deeper personal relationship with the divine. Having no limits on what we can be or do or create. Integration, it is a quantum reality, revealing and correcting injustice and oppression. And we see a lot of that beginning to emerge in the world with social activists. And it's being done in a much more expansive way. Activating new potentialities. We see the youngsters who are actually doing a great job of that as they are being born into the pre-ninth wave energies and holograms, exercising conscious choices, the declining power of the West, and we see that the West is actually hanging on for all it is worth to the power constructs and controls that it has built up over the years. And we need to be very, very aware of this because there is a transfer and a rebalancing of the superpowers within the world so that there is a harmonization. So the West is actually losing its control, and that is devastating for those that actually have the power. So that is going to change, and that means that there are going to be massive structural changes in the world. Reduction in competition in line with unity thinking, creation and implementation of beneficial technologies that's beneficial for all, gender equality. It's an era of fulfillment that we are entering. It is about mind heart transition, which most of us already know. Transcendence of ego self. That doesn't mean elimination of ego self, it means that ego self serves higher self and that divine connection. Embodiment of divine self, cooperation and service. Self transforming approach to life, which is what we're doing at the moment. Fulfilling a divine plan and understanding our own personal destiny in alignment or as an aspect of a divine plan because of our relationship with it. Reharmonization and distribution income, that is a really big one. So you can perhaps get a feel for how much work there is to be done around the implementation and embedding of ninth wave holograms and the building of structures in accordance with ninth wave frequencies, which is really what we're doing and why there is so much strength that is needed in order to be able to do this, and why the diamond is such a critical bridge in respect of this occurring, because the diamond is a powerful, powerful vehicle for you establishing your personal relationship with the divine and the embodiment of your higher self, of your divine self, your highest potential self, whichever way you want to look at it. So I think this perhaps creates a context for the amount of work that we have to do in respect of embedding, embracing, continuing to see the ninth wave realities and to bring them into being. So, yeah, it's not a quick fix. We're going to go through these circumstances where we go through this stickiness, where, as they're saying in the chat room at the moment, there's people revamping their diet, changing the way that they are eating for healthy bodily function. So there's a huge amount that we are being called upon to do, being guided to do, and the timing. So we've got Elaine says, um, it's like an infinity wave with one side imploding and the other side knitting energies into new form. Yeah. And we're holding both sides of the wave at the same time to actually facilitate that. So it's very, very powerful work. More comments. I've also been experiencing a powerful heat coming from inside, either too hot or too cold. I've also been experiencing quite a lot of that in the past few weeks again, Rachel. That is very interesting. And they're not hot flushes either. It's definitely an alchemical heat. It's something that is being fueled alchemically within. So the ongoing participation of our community is definitely more intense than that, and I know the difference. Patricia's just said I've just a triple. Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah. And that's part of the internal alchemy that is actually taking place. So very, very interesting that most of you are actually experiencing it in some way, shape, or form. A couple of additional comments in there. And then Mary Beth says, I'm all in for all of this. Yeah, absolutely. The more we have, um, and the more we are able to hold the center. That's a good comment there, Bunny, as well. Also, a lot of heat. I love the idea of the infinity wave, and the center of the infinity sign for me is the point of now trying to stay within that place as things move so quickly. Yes, yes. Holding that balanced point to enable and facilitate the transmutation, the breakdown, and the build up at the same time. It's holding that strength of position between the polarities in order for them to be transcended. Very good description. So if you could almost imagine yourself, and that's again, sort of where we come into the diamond, because the diamond holds that space beautifully. Oh, and you're going to smile when you see what light code we're working with today, because I love it. You're talking about the infinity waves. You guys are wonderful because you've intuitively connected with how we are moving with this. Just such a beautiful community. Okay, so yeah, lots more talk. Most people have been experiencing these extremes of unusual extremes of heat and cold, like being the eye of the storm. Yes, Elaine, absolutely. So we're going to continue working with the sacred white seal because we are still working with the element of water and with those holograms that we accessed during our first process. So we're just going to call on the support and assistance of the sacred white seal for this particular process in order to enliven these holograms within us, because each of the holograms essentially will take on a geometric pattern and form. It's a blueprint, and it's those blueprints that we want to ignite within our nervous system so that those connections are made. I know, aren't these pictures just adorable? I absolutely love that face. It's just those eyes. You look into the depth of those really dark eyes, and it honestly is like being drawn into the abundance of that sacred dark night. The that glyph that was spoken about earlier. Just really, really beautiful. So drawn into the field of all potential. So the code that we actually have uh, for today is the shaman. And of course, look at what makes up the shaman. It's all of these interwoven infinity loops. As the shaman, the essence of this code is literally about weaving in and out through dimensions while being able to hold a sweet spot at the very center. And of course, you actually see that being held by the diamond in the background. So we're going to call on the shaman code to be able to support us to open up the spaces into hyperspace to multiple dimensions in order to access the light of and the lightning of activation that's going to bond and activate the holograms that we have pulled in. So very, very powerful. I love working with this code. So if you guys just want to take a few minutes to absorb the energy of the code, just allow it to communicate with you. As you hold the image on the screen, you'll see that this is also one of the revived codes with the faceted diamond. And for me, it just really brings the codes to life. Yes, all of the codes have changed. The essence of the code itself is the same as the background that's changed with that faceted diamond, this same faceted diamond that I found that I just so absolutely love, that is holding the background. It's holding the code. And at the same time, it energizes it and enables it to pop. So the code itself hasn't, but the diamond energy has strengthened. Yes, all of them feel stronger. So there's a whole new set of codes. So what confuses you about the color, Elaine? That's really interesting. Um, there's just a comment here from Elaine, which is the color confuses me. The color, which is interesting, it's kind of a deep magenta. There's some very earthy colors in that because the essence of the shaman is very strongly connected to the earth. So while the energy of the code is about weaving in and out of different dimensions, it's done so in such a way that the information that is brought back is enabled to be grounded through the being. Oh, that's very interesting, Elaine. Very interesting. Um, yeah, that hasn't actually changed. The color and the essence of it actually hasn't changed at all. I'll get over it. Would you know what? It is also interesting because different people, if I can just mention this, different people actually do see the codes in different frequencies of color. So I don't while these are presented in a specific color, um, the um, the lens, if you like, the frequency lens that people connect with it seems to almost make it appear or come alive, if you like, in a different color. So it's not fixed. I always say allow it to be what it needs to be when you connect with it. So we got the longer it's on the screen, the more powerful it appears to be. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, the new set is absolutely it almost feels it's timiest as well for these enlivened codes. It's kind of like the codes are coming into a new way of being. There's a new level of information that's going to unfold through the enlivened codes. Um, so, yeah, allow it to be what it is, allow it to interact. I've just got another comment in here. Holding my old code, very powerful. Oh, that's interesting. Holding and looking at it at the same time. Yes. Well, it's what's really interesting, because I will have to order the new ones. Um, what's been interesting about this is it's this particular faceted diamond that's forming the background. It's almost as if that is what I have been waiting for years. And the minute I saw it, I knew that that was what had to go with the codes. And I only also, within weeks of each other, found that diamond and connected with a graphic designer, beautiful lady in the US who actually connected with the diamond and connected with the codes because it's not a case of having anybody work with them. It has to be somebody who has that particular resonance with them. And she did. So literally within the space of 2 weeks in September, I found both the diamond and the graphic designer. And she's just finished recreating the new code set with this altered background. So it's a lovely synchronicity, and it's perfectly timed for this movement, this time that we're in, this moving from 2017 into 2018, and with all of the changes taking place. So we got another comment which just says the new codes delight me. They seem to have new dimensions with a new energy. Yes. Um, feel the energy of it and feel it the more I look at it. Yes. What's interesting about this one is that this is what you're seeing on the screen. If you have to print this out, you'll get a very vibrant color. It looks different. There's almost a deeper red tone to it. So you're perhaps not getting the impact of it on the screen. I think also this is a JPEG file. Yeah, and then Lane's just said she has a preference for the electric blue and purple. Yeah, they seem very 3D. Rachel says I'm holding my shaman card, the one on the screen, seems more solid somehow. Beautiful comments, guys, and some fabulous observations of your experience of these new codes. Because for me, the minute I saw the first one that had been reworked, it was like my words were, it pops. It pops. It just brings them alive again, and brings them out into the world in a different way. So really powerful. And oh, you're gonna like this. I'm going to have it for the next session that we do in November. Is a brand new light code. So we also have a brand new one which will form part of the new set. That can't show to you at the moment. It's been waiting for a while to be birthed. So yes, it pops. Yes, it's a brand new code, and it's perfect for this time. It's taken a number of years to actually birth it. Susan, well, you can order them whenever you're ready. All of them are ready except for the new one, for the new code that's just been reworked with the new diamond. The code itself has actually been done, so it's just the background that's been done. And they will be printed, sent off to the printers within the next week or so, which is great. So it's really up to you. I've got the new ones if you want to have a look. I have updated the gallery, and I will put the new code plus another revived one in there. But if you want to have a look at the rest of the codes in the new format, and with the new background, and you go to the light code page on the website, you'll actually be able to see and experience and feel the energy in the other codes too with this new background. So yeah, go and experience them. Yes, it will be, Patricia. That's very, very interesting. Yeah, the new codes are out, so I'll let you guys know. But I know that the adjustment to the new code will be out um, in a week, and then I can get them printed. Okay, so if you are ready for the process, we've been doing quite a bit of chatting around these. I'm glad you've connected with that code. It's been up for quite a while, so that will have imprinted. Oh, imprinted nicely for you. Feeling this code in my chest and throat, breathing has changed. Very interesting, because the throat also seems to be where we lock the old stuff in. That's that point of surrender. So we're feeling it. Elaine's got feeling it in my third eye, very hot. I just felt the heat in my body actually as we're moving into this particular side. And I can also feel a bit of a tickle in my throat. Right. Sorry, I'm just sorting my water out here, guys, and then we can go into the process. So you've got that sorted. Right, so you guys all ready? If you are now, then I invite you to make sure that you're comfortable. Feet flat on the floor. And very gently rest your arms on your thighs. Allow your shoulders to relax and allow your eyes, your eyelids to gently rest one on top of the other. And simply begin by taking a long, slow, deep breath in. And breathe out. As you allow yourself to surrender into the beingness and the presence of this moment. Allow your breathing to center you, to connect with the core, the essence of the heart of your being. As you become aware of everything around you in this 3D world, all the sounds, the feel of your clothing, the feel of your chair. Be fully present, aware of the temperature, aware of your body, aware of your surroundings. And yet there is a presence and an awareness that is the observer of these things. Connect with this aspect of yourself that is simply the experiencer, the creator of these experiences in your physical reality. And as you do, your sense of presence begins to expand into all of those things and aspects that you are observing, that you are aware of. And in this moment, you recognize the creative ability of your highest essence that brings your entire environment into being. Allow yourself to become the chair. Allow yourself to become the fabric, the weave of the clothing that you are wearing. Allow your consciousness to move through the fabric of your body, out into the structure of your home or the room, expanding and now beyond the illusion of the confines of those walls, out into the grass, the ground, the soil, the tree, the plant life, into and through the insect. For you are the conscious dreamer, a manifestation of divine source, dreaming all into being. Allow yourself to fully experience the dream, to be the dream. As you expand without boundaries or limits into all of this dimension, you are a constant flow of love, of creation. Just be in this moment. Notice if there are attributes and aspects of this dimension where your consciousness or being resists or gets stuck or avoids. And then allow your awareness to center in your heart as you pulse out through the vastness of your being into those areas, holographic projections that you may deem as undesirable. Just flow like the water of the cosmic sea out into the manifestations of existing 3D reality. Experience them fully in all of their manifestations. Experience the vastness of your spirit, of your creative source, and the knowingness of your presence in every single encounter. Just flow. For in this experience is enlivened an aspect of your highest essence, the knowing and the wisdom of your highest connection, and the understanding that you are in all, that your power extends into every single projection of the world and has the ability to change it. And as you embody and connect with the wisdom and the understanding of your highest, grandest presence, allow your consciousness now to create your diamond, aligning it with the core of your being and how powerful the structure is for supporting the creation and the foundations of new reality. be aware of the power that is generated within your diamond space as a lens for the focus of your consciousness, and that you become a lens for the focus of the universal one creative source through your diamond. And you surrender your presence fully and completely into this space. And as you look around, you are now aware of the various holograms that have been embedded within the water of your being, the holograms that you were gifted with the support of the sacred white seal that were brought into being and reality through the association and resonance with the ninth wave. All of those sacred bubbles of new consciousness contained within your being. Each one of them has the ability to transform you within and to transform the world without. What your consciousness seeks now is the ignition of those holograms, of those special geometries contained within your being. And today we are gifted with the blue electric storm, with a gift of electromagnetic activation of your nervous system, the activation of these blueprints that take your attention up now to your soul star energy center above your head. And from within the golden swirling light of your soul center, you see the shaman light code taking form, projected from the brilliance of the origin and the originating diamond of creative source. Allow it to be whatever frequency and color it needs to be as it begins to spiral within your soul star. And as it spirals and spins, you're aware that it initiates openings into the multiple dimensions of source, of the creative field. And through those openings are snakes of light, dragons of light, divine lightning, electromagnetic pulses that gather in the vortex that is being created around the code. You can almost hear the crackling as this charged divine light of transformation becomes a veritable storm formed around the spiraling code. The light of ignition comes through from various dimensions of source into a single cloud, spiraling vortex. And your crown center is activated and begins to open as that code spiraling now within this gathering electric storm descends from your soul star down towards your crown, towards the center of your brain. And as the first electromagnetic pulse strikes the surface of your brain, you are aware of the holograms within your body, the ninth wave holograms of being, projecting as a geometric form across the topography and surface of the many folds of your brain, a shining code of light, a personal code of light. And the lightning within the electric storm sees and traces out the pattern of this geometric form shining on the surface of your brain, igniting the pattern, firing up neural networks that align with thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that will assist the bringing into reality of this thought form. Be aware of these changes and ignitions within your brain and your nerves. Throughout the network of billions of neurons within this 3D organ that you have been gifted with, nerves find each other to trace out a neural pathway that correlates with this holographic projection from within your being. And just for a moment, allow the emergence of any other holograms that you were gifted with by the sacred white seals to emerge from the waters of your being, from the fluid in your cells. They light up and project their pattern onto the surface of your brain. And that electric storm, as it spirals around your head, ignites and traces the neural pattern that is connected with that hologram that is projected. Like bubbles arising up from within, these patterns reveal themselves and are ignited. Set the intention that only those that your body can actually deal with at this moment in time are ignited. And as the code now spirals, carrying with it this electric storm around and through your being from the brain down. The continuing network of nerves is fired up and the appropriate connections are made that connect to your senses of sight, of hearing. That pattern becomes deeply embedded through your nervous system, through the build-up and strengthening of a new neural network, a network that corresponds to the hologram in your cells. And the storm continues as the electromagnetic pulses follow down your spinal column, sending their signals out to neurons that connect with the periphery of your skin through your primary organs. All that fuels your body is ignited with the pattern and content of your purpose, of your role in the new creation of the ninth wave, society and earth. The sparking and ignition clears any blockages in your throat, moving down your arms to your hands, that your hands and arms are guided to embrace and take action upon any components that present themselves associated with the building of this hologram, or these holograms that are being activated within you. And through this activation, a deep alchemical process of transformation and self-regeneration takes place. As yet more of the old structure that has resisted release simply begins to dissolve as the networks within your being no longer support it and are flushed through and out through the waters of your being. Continue now with these new neural networks as your organs, your digestive system is infused with the corresponding neural pattern for the new holograms, infused with a vibrant, crackling new light that only your diamond can support you being able to hold within your being. This is part of you being a crystalline, advanced consciousness. Your diamond fabric and grid lights up as that storm descends into your bones, down into the muscles of your legs, causing impulses, providing you with fuel and energy, seeding the information of those holograms through the entire fabric of your being so that you may walk as a living hologram of the ninth wave through the 3D reality. Your diamond sparkles as it comes alive. As the storm descends through to your Earth star center and ignites or catalyzes an ignition in your connection with the Earth, a counter-clockwise rotating storm is created. For you have embedded the patterning of the hologram within your earthly body and existence, and in turn your entire frequency is raised to meet the consciousness of your Creator. And the storm, the spiraling of this counterclockwise spiral intensifies around you as you are further supported with the releasing transformation of old, outdated holograms, dissolving, popping like bubbles in the face of the fierceness of this light, of this storm. The power within your nervous system extends beyond the boundaries of your skin through the diamond fabric of your being, lit up like diamonds on the backdrop of a dark night sky. Your grid strengthens as your entire frequency is raised, expanded, opened, anchored, and stabilized within your being. There is a new lightness that travels through your body as you are surrounded by this fiery divine. And you are aware of yourself as a seed or a spark of this light within the cosmic ocean, through which the fabric of the diamond grid cascades, overlaying this reality and all 3D forms. And call in now the gentleness of the sacred white seal, that beautiful face with a deep, dark eye, connecting you with the infinite. And allow the gentleness to soothe and calm the waters within your being, even as the light continues to infuse your entire fabric. Seal swims around you, providing you with the energy and the love within which to hold the change and the transformation. And Seal now guides your consciousness and your being out through the diamond fabric of creation. Allow yourself to expand as that light, moving through the grids as a living hologram of geometric patterns. And allow those holograms to find their complements within the grander grid. As your consciousness expands and flows into and through all, seeding everything, seeding all of life with the blueprints, the geometries, and the patterns of the ninth way of being, the seeds from which a new reality will be birthed. You flow through the waters, the soil, the crystals, the people, the living earth. And as your hologram meets its complement, in a burst of light, they are both strengthened and expanded, and you continue on this seeding journey together. In this moment of deep presence and awareness, you are assured of your mission, your purpose, and your reason for being. It is the deepest knowing that everything you are was designed for this time. And all of the merging, strengthened holograms and patterns as they combine create new geometries and forms like living light codes. They are streams of living consciousness that you give birth to. You leave your consciousness as you move through it in the trees, to be recycled through the air that people breathe, to be gifted through the water back into the soil, through the chain of life as a gift to humanity, all through your willingness to undergo deep and personal transformation and self-regeneration. Take a deep breath in now as you allow your consciousness to return to your physical body, physical form, gently flowing back through the grid with an enhanced energy and essence, enhanced holograms and geometric patterns, flowing into your enlivened nervous system, taking up your position fully present within your physical body, fully present within every cell, fully present within your DNA, looking out with eyes that have an expanded awareness of your ability to change not only your life but others. Be aware of the flow of energy through your nervous system. Be aware of the charge that has ignited and deepened the activity within your third eye and pineal gland, opening you to even higher truths and wisdom and ongoing personal guidance. Be aware of how different and how light your body feels. And in this moment, take a deep breath in, aware of how strong and light filled your diamond field is. And give gratitude for all of those sharing this experience and their holographic components with you, each serving to amplify and support the other. For within the overall grid of the diamond is an essence of co-creation and cooperation. We are nothing without each other. For all growth and all evolution takes place through potentials that are realized in interaction with another. And we are never alone. And in the expression of gratitude is a deep opening within your heart space. For you are the living shaman, the galactic shaman, the cosmic shaman, the one who transforms. The magician. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And another deep breath in and breathe out. As you prepare now to open your eyes and return to waking consciousness. And welcome back. How you doing? We got a bit of chatting or a bit of typing going on in the chat room. Well, we got one word there, which is wow. Do you know, I always find it so amazing how things actually start off with an inkling of how it's going to go, and it just becomes something else. I've just got one of those like serious full body chills. My nervous system is like completely sensitized. It's like everything, whoa, this is just amazing, is extending way beyond my body, like antenna. I feel like one of those pictures, you know, when you've got the energy just going out from every pore in your body. So Susan said, "Yeah, this came to me at the end. As the diamond shines and vibrates around me, it creates miracles in my life and the world. Wonderful. I'm still vibrating. Now, how does that feel compared to how we all felt at the beginning of this process? I think we've still got a few people who are coming back from wherever they are. Um, So we've got, when we first went into that, my chin and bottom lip started vibrating and then my teeth started. I'm still vibrating. Amazing. How the rest of you? Speechless. Okay. I guess that kind of says it all. Yeah, some things there just are no words for. Sometimes we really just need to be in the energy, and it just feels as if it's a step up that we have stepped up through this. I'm getting another whole body wave of frequency here. That we have stepped up into exactly the position that we need to move on from, put it this way. It's like there's a new starting block. It's like we're standing on the new starting block. So it's kind of the things that we were talking about earlier, but it feels now as if we have the energy to take it forward. That alignment, that firing up needed to take place. So we got my legs are tingling more now than during the process. Um, that was incredible. Wonderful, wonderful, ladies. I think we've still got one or two who are busy kind of coming back. I know that that was a really deep, very powerful. Did any of you see any geometries through the holographic activations at all? Just out of interest. I mean, not that it's important because it was the overall essence of what we were doing, but how beautiful the alignment of those energies to support this work today. Many. Oh, beautiful. Well done. Um, and I also realize that one wants to hold that space as opposed to needing to perhaps try and find the words to communicate an experience that is very often beyond words. Um, Many geometries. That is fantastic. So we've got, I find the last few webinars, I hear the first half and then go out. I feel the electricity like the lines of energy going out as was described. Let's just see. Um, as I came back, feel refreshed instead of tired. Yes, that was also where I was getting at because I can feel that total revival of energy. Rachel said so many visuals. I saw the energy coming down from above and down through the Earth star, then back up in an endless stream, like above and below, in a constant line. So above is below. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Rachel, that's just really, really powerful. Elaine, I just want to check in with you if you're okay, um, because that was just out of it. It would be interesting. Um, how you felt moving through with that expanded awareness in the very beginning, before we actually even started with that electrical storm. sort of whether you experienced any resistance as you moved out into the fields, because Elaine's just said 22 galaxies, laser light beaming codes into my body. Still typing. Lost iPad connection. Oh wow. Well, I've just had one of those heat waves again as well. That energy is really, really intense. Um, very powerful. Um, yeah, those holograms are coming alive even if we can't see them. We just allow those geometries that are represented by the holograms to emerge, and allow ourselves to be guided more deeply and more strongly. Wow, what a powerful, powerful session. So I'd like to leave you in that space just to integrate the essence and energy of that. This is really a deep preparation for the 1111 Gateway next month. Elaine says cells vibrating at different speeds faster than sending into Mother Earth. Yeah, yeah. Lots of internal activation at many levels. Mary Beth, I feel like going on a walking meditation now. My head's buzzing. There's another one who says, "Bunny's my head is buzzing." Yeah, I felt that buzzing actually the minute I started with the download through the crown, and to the brain. So really amazing. I think it will take a few days to integrate this because we're working strongly with the nervous system. But I think that's a beautiful example of how powerful a process can be when we align with the cosmic gifts of the energies in a very conscious way. So we've got again fractal patterns vaporized off me, then found myself in Diamondback Hawaiian waters with dolphins. That's just beautiful. Um, Wonderful, wonderful, everybody. I just want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you. So was all as light being sitting at a round table with a large earth in the center. We were connected to the earth through our hearts, sending energy or just being connected to her. Well, Rachel, do you know what? I'm going to be so interested to how your Glastonbury trip rolls out with this new power that you take with you. Um, Dolphins sonaring me in a circle with infinity waves opposite each dolphin. Oh, that's just beautiful. My foot slipped on the floor, but I couldn't feel my feet. Oh my goodness, that is just amazing. I know. Thank you so much, everybody, for your engagement, for your contribution, for your willingness to show up and to be here. Created 8 infinity waves that combined into the 9th wave. Oh, that's beautiful. Elaine, I love that. That is just absolutely stunning because it's almost as if suspended in time. Thank you. It's wonderful, wonderful to actually share these experiences with you. Each one of you brings your gift to the process, to the table. So I am in deep gratitude for all of you and for the gifts that you bring. And Rachel, have a fantastic trip to Glastonbury. Share your light language. Yeah, all light codes merged into mine. Wonder. I love this. It's just a really, really powerful process, and it's going to be fascinating to see what opens up for the 1111 Gateway and between now and then. So I wish you um, sort of the 12 days of joy, of vibrancy, of shifting realities in a very powerful and positive way, of very strong and deep inner guidance that amplifies the realization, the acceptance, the wisdom, the understanding of your deepest and highest purpose for being here, and for the realization of the work that we're doing for the 9th wave creation of reality. So I love you all, and just deep gratitude. I have to say, do you know, my diamond book continues to surprise me. It's sitting here with the yew tree essence in it. And there's something about my voice is that now and again, when it hits a certain resonance or pitch, the bowl starts tinging, which it's just been doing. So that's just absolutely beautiful. Really, really honored to be here with you all to do this work. And thank you. I feel that all of that work has actually also infused the yew tree essence, which is an essence of resurrection. So all of the codes have become a part of that. So I'm looking forward to getting that one out there. Very powerful. Thank you all. Love you deeply and gratefully and expansively. And I look forward to the next time that we have an opportunity to meet. Heartfelt love. Mwah.